look at the Ditch Witch SK800. So this would be what, an entry level, mid level, top level, the only option you guys have as far as these go, or?
So Ditch Witch has a family of 4 SKs, mini skid steers. It's the largest fleet of SKs. We have a 600, 800, 1050, and 1550. This is our bread and butter. We sell these the most.
Okay, so this is the go-to, usually where you're pointing a customer to if they're going to take a look at one of these.
For a starter, unless they're looking for more lift capacity, obviously.
So let's talk lift capacity. How much is your safe operating load on I guess, lifting?
Safe lifting capacity is 860 pounds.
Okay, 860. Obviously a bunch of different options here. I'm seeing, you know, your auxiliary here, so you could run pretty much any attachment you could think of.
Yep. Any universal mini skid steer attachment can hook up to this.
Alright, so you do a job and you want to hook up the spinning broom wheel or whatever, you can do that. Augers.
Yep.
All the fun stuff. What would you say sets the Ditch Witch SK800 apart from the competition? Is there anything that this has in particular?
First and foremost, the serviceability of the Ditch Witch. The engine compartment is wide open.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that.
Accessibility to all the filters. We have remote mounted filters, so they're easily accessible.
Yep, everything.
Interchangeable.
So you remove the top there,
The nose cone.
and then this lifts up.
Yep.
Real
Battery,
easily.
Remote mounted filters. Anything to do your typical maintenance intervals is right there, ready to service.
Awesome. Come
Another
on.
thing is the open track design.
Alright, open track. So as opposed to this Dingo, you can get to these wheels. So what's the advantage here?
Debris can travel through. It's easy to clean out. Our rollers are all the same size and interchangeable. There's no smaller rollers, which basically transitions into a smoother ride overall.
Right, I like that. So if I need, you know, if I have 2 of these on hand, you know, one of them goes out, I can use them for any point of the wheel instead of like over here. You know, I'm seeing a few different sizes. I guess they kind of have some similarity, but you would definitely have an easier day switching them out over here. Okay, I can see that.
Another thing is Ditch Witch doesn't have any grease zerks. There's grease zerks behind here, but they're like tapered trailer bearings, so you repack the grease every couple hundred hours. You're not hitting, you know, 20-some grease zerks every 10 hours on this machine. All these are chrome lined pins. All the hinge pins are chrome lined pins with Garmex bushings. They're rated for 3,000 hours. Another feature is the track tensioning gauge, which goes right here. So you grease your tracks until it's green, so you're not over tensioning your tracks. So when you're over tensioning your tracks, you're blowing seals, wearing sprockets out faster. You just kind of long term, you run into a slew of problems. So this will help you gauge your track tension.
Okay, sweet. Do you know, well, I guess it probably varies, but is there a price on these tracks for replacement or no?
Good aftermarket tracks are right around $900 for the set.
Okay.
And the longevity of the tracks can vary between 600 and 1,000 hours depending on concrete and, you know, what you're operating on, but we've seen tracks last up to 1,000, 1,200 hours.
Yeah, so not bad.
That was that one that you sent me the video.
I just want to show a little bit. So yeah, it seems really easy to get to everything for the most part. What kind of engine are you guys running? It looks like Kubota, huh?
24.8 Kubota diesel. It's the same basically in the TX1000 and the Vermeer 925.
Okay.
We do have a dual stack hydraulic drive system. So our motors are stacked, which basically converts more power towards the attachment and the drive system.
Is there anything else you want to throw in there? I mean, it looks like a good machine.
One
fairly
other
nice layout.
key feature is there's no operator safety present switch like the Vermeer 925. So you don't have to be on the platform to operate the controls, which some areas you find yourself in tight areas where you can't be on the machine. You got to move the machine, move the bucket. So that allows for you to be able to move it without being on the machine.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. I've been in a couple situations where that's needed to go down, so that's cool. I like this platform. This looks nice. You take it off if you needed to, clean underneath it, replace it. These look hefty. I was kind of getting a shot of that because if you look at the Ditch Witch in comparison to this Toro, this is pretty thin metal. Not a lot to go off of. Nice machine, but pretty thin metal back there. So I like to point out the different advantages on each one of them. So got a little cup holder, that's cool. And then we got the access to our fuel. So only fill up on one side, or?
Yep, this is diesel fuel, and their hydraulic fluid cap is right there, and this lifts up.
Okay, so this lifts up so you can easily get to it, and it's just a basic latch. And then we got a couple filters underneath here. And simple gauges. So you want to walk me through our gauges from, I guess, left to right on this one?
So this is dual lever track drive. So this is your left track, this is your right track. You got forward and reverse. So you can operate each track independently, which that comes in hand when you're trying to do minimal turf damage, or if you ever threw a track, you can operate one independent track to roll that track back on.
Very cool.
Here's the throttle, you got your parking brake, you do have a glow plug. This is your bucket and arm control. There is an automatic float that's all the way forward, which I think every machine does have that option these days.
Then we got our hour meter, just basic stuff, water temperature. Do we have the 12 volt accessory plug? Oh man, there it is.
It's the one thing I didn't say.
Okay, cool. And then what's this little guy for the manuals?
Yeah, just the storage.
Alright, so just a little dry storage on there. Cool.
On the tracks. So our undercarriage, we have 3 more inches of ground clearance. The ground clearance on our machine is more than any other machine.
Take a little peek down there and see. Cool.
And our tracks have metal bars in them. Like the Toro doesn't have the metal cleats, so this is very similar to a full-size skid steer's undercarriage.
Awesome.
Relying on your editing.
Alright, so we got the Toro, and this would be the Dingo Wide Track TX1000, right? So what exactly sets this apart from the competition?
The vertical lift arm is probably the #1 thing. Allows a heavier payload at the bottom because your machine is going to keep the weight closer to the frame. Has a good height reach that way as well, and it stays compact. It's not too far forward.
And then what's the horsepower on this? I mean, I guess torque matters more, but
Kubota.
okay.
It's a liquid cooled diesel engine.
Did they always use Kubotas on there? Because I saw that underneath there, and that kind of made me take a second glance. But it looks clean. I like the way this thing looks underneath the hood. And then are these removable to access that engine, or no?
Yeah, you can pull the front pan too.
Okay.
Yeah, to do some more heavy maintenance.
Yeah, it looks clean. It looks. Is this is a 2019 or 2020 model?
2020.
Okay.
Brand new, first job it's been on.
Nice. And then as far as the controls, you have, well, we'll start at the bottom. So obviously, place for you to stand.
Operator
you put it in park,
platform,
take it out of
loaded,
park.
so it's comfortable while you operate.
Right.
Does have a mechanical parking brake lever and the detent button by your right toe. So when you're, say, using the auger, the auger will keep spinning while you keep your foot on the button.
Oh, okay. And then you take it off,
Yep.
it'll stop. Okay, and then going into the controls, we'll work from right to left. So
Yep,
like a
pretty
little
basic.
stabilizer bar.
You've got your joystick control right there for your arms and your bucket. features. Above that, your throttle lever.
Throttle right here.
Is this
All right.
locked when this is off right now? Or is that
No, it's active.
okay? It still is active. I was gonna say.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll drop the
You
bucket.
can lock it by flipping this bar over.
Okay. Keep
Now
it
it
for.
can't move.
Yeah.
If you're doing service, for example, you would want it to lock.
Yeah.
Man, I can't get it locked.
For changing the oil on this, is that the oil filter over on the side there?
Yeah.
So we got forward, locked into place, and then neutral.
Yep, that's your
and
hydraulic lever control
your park.
to get the auger to spin. And then you would put your foot on the button once you push it up.
Oh, this, okay, so this is auger
Yep.
control right here. And then like you said, so this would be,
Yeah, they call it detent,
okay.
so you can operate hands-free. You don't have to keep your hand on the lever.
Oh, okay, and then this is going to be your controls to move this around.
Yep.
Okay, so
That's your left and right track
left,
control.
right, forward, reverse.
Joysticks are together on a dummy-proof handle. Just twist your wrist which way you want to spin.
I'm doing this like I've never seen it before. I think I played with one of these like twice, which it was really cool. So I liked the maneuverability as opposed to the normal skid steer.
Sure.
So you got a little plug-in, your hour voltage meter, and then is this reading anything else here or no?
And little indicator lights will pop up at those lines if there's an issue with the icon that's close to.
Okay.
Also have like a glow plug symbol,
Kinda
so
see
when
it.
you turn the key, the glow plug symbol will light up when it's glowing.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. And then we got our fuel
Yep.
clearly marked so no one accidentally puts hydraulic fluid into it.
There's a bolt I'd have to remove. But... Hey Josh, I didn't show you this either.
I've seen it happen.
Little bolt. And this tray will pop up so you can clean out your radiator.
Get in there and
And
clean
there's
it up.
also an owner's manual and
All
a
right.
canister under that.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So what's the retail on this?
These
Or
are
approximately
right
would you
around
say?
32.
32,000.
What's that?
And what's the lifting capacity on that?
It's rated for 1,075 pounds. That's at 35% tip load.
1,075.
Any machine with tracks is rated at 35% tip load. Skid steers with tires are rated at 50%. They do that because with tracks you're going to get in more questionable situations.
Sure.
They don't want to promise you a number that you get in trouble with. So it'll lift 3,000 off the ground,
Okay.
and that's the tip load.
And these look like some low impact tracks. Like you wouldn't rip up your lawn too much with these versus something like this, which I know that sounds a little silly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
it has
you
a
get
grip.
into like a normal residential neighborhood or something like that, and you're not trying to rip the hell out of their lawn. So
Yeah, these are the 9.5 inch wide tracks. They offer a narrow track, which is about 6 inch. This is a better footprint, under 4 pounds per square inch of ground pressure.
do you know the cost on the track replacement if you had to or no?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. Anything else we want to add on or no?
No.
So now we're looking at the Vermeer S925TX. So this is 2020, and where should we go ahead and start? What sets you guys apart from the competition on this model?
That would probably be our chariot style platform here. You get up in here, you're enclosed, you can lean into your turns, you kind of lean forward a little bit onto the controls, so it's all about comfortability, less fatigue on the operator for sure. And another big thing here, when you look at the controls, ours machine comes standard with a single joystick on it, which it makes it a little bit easier to use the machine. You're not having to operate 2 levers at the same time.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So yeah, the other one's got the 2 levers, which I can see being an advantage, but especially if you throw somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing on these things too right away, like, hey, I need this machine moved, they might not know what to do and kind of panic.
Yes, exactly.
Or throw the load. But this seems really simple, and I can operate this easily with one hand, so that's cool.
Another thing while we're up here in the controls, that our machine comes standard as well with high flow and low flow hydraulics. So these are your different, high flow, low flow. You can hook an auger up to this. It has your detent in it, so you don't have a switch or anything like the Ditch Witch does at your feet to lock in the detent. I guess, yeah, so you can use a lot of different attachments with these that some of the other ones can't.
And then our control for our hydraulics and stuff is right here.
So yeah, this controls your loader arms, up and
Okay.
down on your loader arms, and then moving your plate forward and back.
Okay, cool. And then what do we got? Just raising the RPM level here.
Yeah, that's just your throttle right there.
Okay. And then our 12 volt, our ignition, and our glow plug warmer.
Yep.
Cool.
And while we're back here too, you got your standard weight kit. It's not an option, it just comes standard on the machine always.
Nice, yeah, because normally those cost a little bit of money to add on.
Yeah.
And they're always a fun time mounting too.
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys have as far as weights back here? How much weight is attached, do you know? Okay.
No.
Just curious, yeah. So those are cool. Those are, you know, straight from the factory and mounted on for you. So that's nice. Definitely necessary when you start getting out there and putting some heavy loads on the front arms.
Yes.
So today you got the auger on there.
Yeah, that's a 9-inch auger bit on there. Paladin. You got your Paladin auger drive as well on here. So if you're digging, you know, fence poles, you know, a variety of things, you can use this.
Is this who makes this auger?
It's a Paladin auger.
Oh, okay, Paladin auger. Sorry, I wasn't sure. Yeah, there we
Auger
go.
drive and Paladin auger drive and auger bit. And you know, as you can see up here on the height, one thing that sets the Vermeer apart from the others too is that we have an 84-inch hinge to pin height, which is the best out of the competition.
Wow.
This machine also, you know, it's 925, so the rated operating capacity is 925 pounds. Your tipping weight's going to be more or less around 2,600, which will give you more accurate measurement of how much the machine can lift.
Got it. And then what kind of engine are you guys running in here?
So we are running a 24.8 horsepower Kubota engine, and we run on 4 cylinders.
Very nice. And can any of these, I mean, for the most part, I'm trying to get this so you guys can see it on the camera. For the most part, this looks easy to get to your glow plugs or basic things. Do any of these side panels come off?
Yep,
or-
both these side panels will pull right out.
Okay,
And it makes it a lot easier to get in there and do some maintenance to the machine.
nice. And then our track system looking at it. So we got
It's a spring tension track system there. You see right here, you can just tension it right here with this bolt.
all right.
Get it tighter, looser. And then you gotta look on the other side. I'll show you one thing if you want to follow me over here.
Sure.
Our parking brake right here, it's not engaged, but once this sprocket rolls up to right here, this will pop out, and there's your parking brake, and it'll gauge just like that. So there's no manual parking brake, just self-engages.
Good to go. And then this, while we're down here, we have a little attachment spot, and we do have a little tow hook on the front, so that's cool. Just in case, you never know what you're going to run into on a job site.
Oh,
so
yeah.
very good. And then do you know the ground clearance on this?
Ground.
Because we made it a point on the ditch witch, so I was wondering what possibly the ground clearance was on this. So we're at 6.
Yep.
And you can see it's pretty solid. Yeah, solid steel all the way through, so there's nothing really to hang you up on. And
Yep. The machine weighs about 3,400 pounds as well.
all right, good deal. And what are we at? We got.
Discuss it.
Do you know what the weight is on that ditch witch, so we can get all of our weights? Or
2,900 pounds.
2,900. And then, does anyone know on the dingo?
He said 28.
28. Okay, I didn't know. Just to get them all. They're all real close in weight. So.
Same thing.
We'll have to cut that out. on just immediate thoughts after running that.
It's a good machine. It, I mean, I think that flow technique works really well with grading it. It's just, you know, a matter of knowing that you can't run it into a hill, full tilt, and expect it not to die out, because it will.
So you had the throttle all the way up on that, right?
Yeah, throttle's all the way up. I mean, it definitely has good lifting capacity though, and it's smooth. It's very operator friendly for sure.
Right. It looked like, yeah, it didn't look jerky at all. It looked like you know, lifting up and moving piles, you know, with a full bucket seemed to be smooth. You got a nice, I mean, the ground was already smooth here, but it looked like it had a nice float to it.
Yeah.
You know, you could easily grade some stuff out, or,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
not bad. I mean, I like the Toro bucket's nice. I mean, it gets the job done. Compared to that Blue Diamond bucket, it's, you know, that's a lot more, it's a lot more durable. That's a hardy bucket for sure. But we're gonna try the other ones out and see what else they say.
All right, let's see how you like the ditch witch. You want to do a float that bucket and grade a little, or no? Just do it, you know, 1 or 2 passes.
It moves some dirt. It's got the balls. Few things I noticed, that it will not die out when you run into a pile. It won't die out. The Toro and the ditch witch they'll kill themselves before they stop. This will have, it's got to have an overflow, you know, high limit switch or whatever on the hydraulics. It won't die out when you run into it.
Yeah, this seemed like it definitely had the most juice, and you noticed that you noticed that that ability that booms longer.
Yeah, the hinge pin. So basically, where the pins are out there, it does have a better angle for dumping out material, and it's got the highest reach, I believe, out of all of them. It's got to be really close to the highest reach. So I mean, it definitely can stack the dirt the highest. You know, and, I mean, we picked up some more virgin dirt over there. I mean, that's not completely virgin, but that was moved a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
It definitely can move it around.
What about back in here in your, you know, cab area?
Yeah, the chair,
How do you feel?
it's a good design. I like it. I mean, it keeps you in. It's the biggest thing I noticed, that one thing I don't like about it is just that it does take a while to go faster or slower. It's not going to be that initial rush like the Dingo or the Ditch Witch, which is, you know, I guess you could say safer, but it's also, you know, time's money. So.
Right.